So who would you rather be offensive coordinator for? Cam Newton or Russell Wilson?
This is a tough one because when you look at them, they're both highly talented. I think Cam's the more physically gifted of the two quarterbacks. And neither one of them, interestingly enough, despite their success, has never been surrounded by dynamic offensive talent. I mean, look at their receivers, who they had this year. Devin Funchess for Carolina and Doug Baldwin. Those aren't, prime-time marquee wide receivers. They've both had kind of rotating casts of running backs behind them throughout their career. So I'd love to have coordinate them and surround them with some talent. But, Robin, I'm leaning towards Russell Wilson for one reason here. Cam, physically gifted, more talented. The prima donna factor, though, I think is at a high level with Cam. I don't get that from Russell Wilson. He seems to be all business, all about wins. He's a Super Bowl champion. I'd love Russell Wilson and then have my pick of a receiver and a running back.
Yeah, this is a very tough question. To me, these two guys are both top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. If, no particular order, I would go Rodgers, Brady, Cam, Wilson, and Breeze probably. But they both do something special that nobody else really does. I think Russell Wilson's about as good as anyone ever at buying time for himself and for his team to make something happen. And then Cam Newton is just physically unlike anyone we've ever seen, where he can break off chunk plays in the running game and be your short yardage back and be your quarterback. In fact, when Cam Newton's at his best, when he's got the accuracy going, I think he's the best player in the NFL, period. So at their best, I'm picking Cam Newton, but I might agree with you slightly in the tiebreaker situation because Russell Wilson might be more consistently accurate, and I don't really have to worry about his press conferences.
Yeah, and when it comes to Cam and Russell Wilson, they share the similarity of at times being their leading rusher on their teams. They both play with their legs. I kind of feel like we were gypped with Cam. Cam came to play in that playoff game last weekend.
He was the only reason they were in the game.
His receivers did not. His receivers were dropping passes. It clearly got to him, and ultimately they just didn't have enough. But he gave everything he had. He was committed, engaged, and ready to go in that game. And I feel like if one of his receivers were on that same level, we might have been in the midst of a long Carolina, a long Cam run to maybe a Super Bowl here.